Hello humans of the internet, my name is Iceberg Lettuce, and today we are here in Minecraft Combat Test version number 6. So in case you haven't heard of these combat tests before, basically, Minecraft developer Jeb has been doing these little tests where he messes with the combat of Minecraft and other related features, plays around with them, tries to make them feel better, since a lot of people don't really like the way that Minecraft combat was changed back in 1.9. So we're going to be going through here and taking a look at everything that has been changed, but make sure to keep two things in mind. First of all, this is not a 1.16.2 snapshot. These are not features that will be coming to 1.16.2, nor will they probably be coming anytime soon. And second of all, anything here is very much subject to change. These are very experimental versions just to kind of get feedback on the features, and so these are not things that will probably be staying this way for very long. Without further ado, let's get into the changes. First up is a change to the way that the hitboxes of small mobs such as the rabbit work. So, as you probably know, hitting rabbits and that's my inventory. Hitting small mobs such as rabbits and other things like that is very difficult because their hitbox is so small. But they have changed this slightly, so now if you attack just outside of the hitbox of this mob, it will still do damage. So that is very helpful in trying to kill these mobs, which are usually very difficult to take care of. Next up, a small change to the sword from the previous combat test version, which is that the sword always sweeps now. So in the previous version, I believe they removed the feature that the sword would always sweep, and so now you can see that the sword always has a sweeping effect. In addition, the cooldown between missed attacks is now always 4 ticks no matter what weapon you are using, so no matter what weapon you're using, if you miss an attack, there will be 4 ticks until you can do an attack again. The axe, unlike the sword, does not usually have a sweeping effect, so as you can see it only does 1 attack, but you can give it a sweeping effect by applying Sweeping Edge 3. This is not currently in the vanilla game, but this was added in these combat tests, so as you can see, we can give this enchantment to an axe, and it has a sweeping effect. Next up, some changes to the shield. First of all, the shield now only protects up to 5 melee damage, so I believe this means that if you have a shield up, and someone attacks you with, for example, 8 damage, it will only negate 5 of those damage points, and so you will end up taking 3 damage. Also, the shield recovers faster. I can't really show this off because I'm in a single player world, but if I were to have my shield up and get attacked and my shield was knocked down, I would be able to pull up my shield faster in this version. Next up, a small change to a new enchantment. So in a previous combat test, there was a new enchantment added called Chopping, which basically does 2 things to the axe. First of all, it allows it to knock down shields easier, and secondly, it allows it to do more damage when using it to attack. Very small change to this is just the name has been changed. It is now called the Cleaving enchantment instead of Chopping. There's been a change to the way enchanting axes works here, which is that the axe can now not get the Sharpness, Smite, or Bane of Arthropods enchantment from an enchanting table. Now the only combat-related enchantment you can get from an enchanting table with an axe is the new Cleaving enchantment. Next up is a change to the way that throwing projectiles works. Well, first of all, as you can see, snowballs stacked to 64 now. This was added in a previous version, I believe. But as you can see, if I throw this snowball here, it goes about that far. I have hitboxes on so you can see it a little easier. And then if I run and throw it, it goes much farther than that. So the velocity that you are moving when you throw a projectile is added to that projectile's own velocity. This does not work, however, for moving sideways, so as you can see, if I throw this, it goes straight forward, even if I am moving sideways at the time. Next up is a bit of a change to the bow, which is that if I pull this back and immediately let go, it's pretty accurate there, but if I pull it back and let it sit for a minute, you can see that it starts to shake more and more, and then when I let go, it has much less accuracy. Next up, we're over here to talk about some changes to the way that eating works. First of all, eating is interrupted when hit. So as you can see, if I go over here, if I eat while the skeleton hits me, then you can see that it will interrupt me in the middle of my eating. Next up, we've got natural healing is faster. As you can see down at the bottom, it seems like my hearts are going up faster, at least faster than they were in the previous combat version. And lastly, the food bar will drain slower now. Last up, we've got some miscellaneous changes over here. First of all, the attack indicator has been removed, so you probably noticed underneath your crosshair that little bar that indicates when it is good to attack again has been totally removed now. This is just because there is nothing that actually uses that bar anymore in this version. Then over here we've got Sweeping Edge has been nerfed. So these percentages here, these are percentages 25%, 33%, and 37.5%, represent the amount of damage that is done by a sweep of an enchanted sweeping edge weapon. So for example, if I have a sword that does 8 damage and it is enchanted with sweeping edge 1, which is the first number over here, then it will do 25% of that damage to anything caught in the sweeping edge. So that is just about everything in this combat test version. I hope you all enjoyed watching, and see you next time everybody. Bye!